morning. I'd like to call this meeting of the Electoral Board to order. And we will begin by having a moment of silence. If everyone would please stand. Thank you. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes. Mr. Secretary.
All right, so we have, it's like 4 sets. Do you want to do them individually or as a group?
I just as soon do them individually.
Okay.
So we can all take a minute to review them.
All right, so first we have the minutes for the meeting on December 10, 2025.
Very good.
So I think these minutes have all been circulated. 2 of them were prepared by Marcus before he left.
Very good. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the December 10th meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then next we have minutes for December 12, 2025.
Very good. This was the special election meeting?
The first special election.
Yes, exactly.
I move we approve those minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Yes, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And next, the minutes for the board meeting for the canvass for the special election that took place January 14th through the 17th.
Very good. Okay.
Madam Chair, I move approval of those minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And finally, the minutes for our emergency meeting last Friday, January 23, 2026.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, there you are.
Move approval of those minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Very good.
Oh, this is Marcus's signature, so I won't sign on his spot.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. Okay, now we will entertain reports from electoral board members. Madam Vice Chair, would you like to go first?
I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Yolanda Montgomery. I'm the newest member of the Electoral Board. I'm very excited to be here. I am a lawyer by trade. I'm the Executive Director and Counsel for the Machinist Benefit Fund Office in Washington, D.C. I have a history of helping with elections. I work with the NAACP, doing election protection, as well as the Lawyers Committee, doing phone banking, working the polls, things like that. So I'm very excited to be here, very excited to make an impact, and thank you so much.
Welcome aboard. Very good. Mr. Secretary?
Thank you. So welcome, everyone. I think we've set a record. This is the most meetings we've had in a 2-week period, probably ever, and more to come. It sounds like it's going to be a very busy year. So I look forward to working with everyone and midterm elections are you know, obviously important, so there's going to be a lot of focus on everything that the office does, and we may have, you know, redistricting, who knows what's going to happen, but it's definitely going to be a busy year. And I know that, you know, we're in good hands with our director and the staff, and we'll be ready for whatever comes at us. So Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, and I would echo those comments. Looking forward to the year, lots ahead of us, starting with a new member of the Electoral Board family, if we will. Our esteemed General Registrar and his lovely wife have just given birth to their first child. So congratulations to Eric and Helen, and wish them all the best. Perhaps they can invest in a Trump account. That's it. All right, so let's begin with the General Registrar's report. And so in Eric's absence, John, are you prepared to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. So as Madam Chair mentioned, the Olson family has welcomed their first baby to this world, and we're very excited for them, and we want to congratulate them. And for this presentation, I will be presenting part of this, and Natalia as well. So the two deputy directors will go ahead and cover for the General Registrar in his absence.
Very good.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the special election overview. So as you all know, we're having a special election on March 10, 2026 in the Woodbridge Magisterial District. This election is to fill the vacancy for that Board of County Supervisor seat. This magisterial district has 12 precincts. They are currently at just over 42,000 registered voters. And we have, out of those 12 precincts, 11 of those are schools. We have already notified the schools. They are aware that we're having a special election. I expect that we will go ahead and follow what we did in the last special, and schools will remain open during election day. So voters will have to pay extra attention to the signage that we put outside, because the normal rooms that they use during a general election will not be, most likely will not be available. Usually schools like to put us in a room where they can compartmentalize for security purposes. So we will ensure that the 11 precincts at those schools have enough signage to help direct voters. The other precinct, the other facility, and there is a public library, the Woodbridge District Library, I believe. So luckily, all the precincts this time around are government facilities, so we should have no issues gaining access to those. And the key deadline here coming up is the candidate filing deadline. That is February 9th. That is what you all established in your last board meeting. All right, so next up is communications. So the homepage of our website has been updated to reflect all the key dates, early voting, mail voting, and election day updates, or not updates, information is now available on our website. Next thing to come are the sample ballots, which will be posted as soon as we have candidates. We expect that to be mid-February. All right, also we will send a voter guide, just like we did during the last general election. Our goal here is to send a postcard to all the registered voters, well, not all registered voters, but all homes where there are registered voters. So we're looking at just over 21,000 homes that will be receiving a postcard. That will be finalized as soon as we know the candidates, and we expect that to hit the mailboxes at the end of February. We will provide you all with updates as soon as we have them. That way you all know, and can let voters know in case anybody reaches out to you all. All right, so as mentioned, on the ballot will be the Board of County Supervisors. A key note here is that this is one of those contests where there is no party identifier. All right, so usually we usually encounter upset voters about, hey, which party or which candidate is for this party or that party. We usually allow voters to do research on their phones, but yeah, this is one of those elections where getting a sample ballot from your campaigners outside is probably important. Oh, and also the Democratic Party will be listed first on the ballot.
And that's based on a drawing that the State Board of Elections did, that for any elections that happen during a specific time, I think for that year, that's the ballot order for any elections anywhere in Virginia.
That is correct. Yeah. All right, so just to give you all an update on our progress on our elect task, you all have the complete report in your board packages. We're currently at 41 tasks completed, 275 to go. We are not behind on any of our tasks. Even with the snow days, we're still ahead. We're 27 tasks ahead. And if you all have any questions related to the task, please feel free to ask us. We're happy to answer any questions.
And your deadline for completion is?
Usually it runs till election day, even after election day.
So right over here, you have how many days before election, so that's how elect task works for us. And that's basically certain things have to be done at certain point of time, but it runs so many days before election, and we have tasks after the election as well. So it's listed in order.
I believe it's over 300 tasks and continues to grow. All right, so I'll go ahead and keep moving here. On the operations side of the house, early voting is set to start February 28th, which is a Saturday. We will open up our 2 early voting sites immediately. So our main office has to be open by ordinance along with the Woodbridge DMV. We will staff the main office with our minimum requirement, which is 3 election officers. We will staff the DMV with 5 election officers. Even though DMV is our busiest site, we expect that not all the voters that will show up are going to belong to the Woodbridge Magisterial District. So therefore, we're not staffing it with additional people, but if needed, we do have a surplus of individuals that want to work. And LNA for the early voting equipment will take place mid to late February. We'll have more information on that once we have the candidates and the ballots are approved by elect. All right, continuing with operations. Election day staffing has begun. Availability survey has gone out to 134 election officers. I believe we're pretty close to meeting our staffing goal of 65. So as you all know, we're staffing each election day precinct with a minimum of 5 election officers. We also have to staff CAP, and we also have to staff our special assistant, which is also known as our rover. So we're looking at about 65 staff or 65 election officers that will be out on the field on election day. The initial assignment list is expected by mid-February. That will go out to you all and the party chairs during that time. And LNA, if possible, we're going to try to do it all together with early voting, but if not, same mid to late February is when we expect to conduct that.
How many special assistants are you planning to have?
1, just like we had the last special election. 1, we're still having discussions about that. We might split the shift, maybe assign 2 people and do half a day each.
Well, the good news is it's close enough to the warehouse that,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that's actually the bonus part, is that that district is right next to the warehouse. All the precincts are actually very close to each other.
Right.
And it's also our smallest magisterial district in terms of precincts. All right, now we'll go ahead and turn it over to Natalia.
All right. So update regarding the mail voting, like John already mentioned, it is pretty similar to previous special election that we have. So we see about the same numbers that we saw for January special. As of right now, around 3,000 ballots would go out by mail. Again, he mentioned that everything right now, what's holding us up is the candidate deadline. So as soon as we pass that deadline and we get our ballots approved, we will be able to submit all that information to our vendors. Our ballots will be printed and they will go out. So if you notice, we are shooting to get those ballots out earlier. Again, the code says as soon as possible. So we're trying to give those mail voters an opportunity to not just receive that ballot, but also be able to return it in a timely fashion. So they will go out as soon as it's been approved and ready to go. About 25 email ballots will go as well, and that is for, Yolanda, you new to this, it's for military and overseas members. So some of them, they qualify for an email ballot by code, and those will receive it by email. They still have to return it by mail. So that's why we're taking priority to make sure that those people do receive their ballots on time and they have ability to return them on time. So the drop boxes will be available at our open EV sites. Once again, it would be main office and Woodbridge DMV. So during the early voting hours, those boxes will be available to deposit their ballots. On election day, the drop boxes will be available only at the precincts that are open. So 700s, all those precincts will be open on election day. That's where people will be able to drop off their ballots as well.
Could I,
Yeah.
you might want to post a sign at the DMV. You may have already planned to do this, because every year people show up on election day at the DMV saying, well, where's, you know, this is where I vote, why can't I vote here? So a sign saying that election day, you go to your regular precinct or something to let them know, no, the election's not here on election day.
We do it at the main office for general elections usually. Yeah,
Right.
we will post the sign that this is not a precinct, but yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, we do that, but we're definitely exploring on upgrading our signage, maybe just bigger signs, more color to bring, grab people's attention, because even though the sign is there, people still walk in and knock, and there's no one there on election day. But at the Dumfries precinct, this last special election, they reported to us that they had 150 voters come by who were not assigned to that precinct, but they were directed by the chief as where to go. So we're definitely exploring additional signage for those election day precincts that also function as an early voting precinct.
All right, I'm going to move to NCOA mailing. Just a reminder, usually about twice a year now, Elect, that is Elect Maintain program, they send what they call it NCOA mailing. So basically, there is a list of people that have been identified that they might have moved. So the letter is being generated by Department of Elections and being mailed to those individuals. So the letter it's kind of like a postcard. It's two parts. It's asking them to confirm their residential address. So they either confirm it and return it back to us, and they being removed from the NCOA flag or confirmation, or they provide an update and we are able to change their address in our system. Again, that's part of maintenance process that is done by Elect with involvement from local registrar's office in order to keep the voter rolls clean. So how exactly it works. After the NCOA mailing goes out, the voter has about 30 days to confirm. So if they choose to confirm, like I said, then we receive the notice and we do the update in our system, or we would send it to the proper jurisdiction for them to update the address if they moved out of Prince William County. However, if they decide not to respond, or they simply just didn't receive that because they're no longer at that address, or whatever circumstances can be, in 30 days, they automatically switched in our system to inactive status. So basically, the process of clearing rolls starts. It still takes time, but this is a first step. So a couple of things to keep in mind. Being in inactive status doesn't mean that you're no longer eligible to vote. So I have a few bulletins here showing what it is that they need to do, a voter needs to do in order to become an active voter again. That's one of the questions that is being asked when they check their eligibility for general elections. So first of all, it would be in writing, change the address within the county. So we will receive that notice. We will update their address within the county, and they're all good to go. Status is active. They can respond to the confirmation notice if they're still at that residential address. Some people, they have two homes, so they might be flagged for there was a correspondence going to the other house. However, it does matter what they consider their primary residential address. So they're able to respond to that confirmation notice, and again, the flag will be removed. Another option for them to vote in an election, and if necessary, so again, when they go on election day or during early voting, there's a confirmation flag on them. We're going to ask them, please confirm your eligibility that you still reside at this particular address, and they either affirm that or they complete a new registration. And lastly would be if they transfer their registration somewhere else within Virginia. So that's another possibility. As soon as they transfer out, they become active again in that new locality.
So when you send the postcard to them, what kind of confirmation are they doing? Just checking a box, or are they providing a bill, a copy of a driver's license? What information are they providing, or are they just checking a box?
Very good question. So it's like I said, it's kind of like a two parts. So first, it just tells them why they're receiving this, so what it's all about, and then it's a card that they can kind of like tear apart and just send it back, and they have to provide their name, they have to provide their address, and they will sign it. So that is a document that we require in order to update their registration. Again, it is already addressed back to us. There's a voter ID on it, so we have ability to identify who it's coming from and why it was created and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Alrighty, we're going to move to Outlook, and I'm going to transfer this to John.
All right, thank you. Any questions on what we've covered so far before we move on? All right, so as the secretary mentioned, 2026 is looking like one of the busiest years we've had in a while. We're talking about a docket full of elections and redistricting, which I was a part of during the last cycle, and it's a long cycle. So as you all, I'm sure, are aware that the Tazewell Circuit Court blocked the redistricting special election effort. It is currently on appeal right now as of this past Wednesday. So yeah, we still don't know what to expect from 2026. So here's just a brief scenarios on what we are possibly looking at, along with an update on our equipment. So as you all know, we're set to get new equipment this year. There has been delays on the certification process of the voting equipment. The equipment that we're set to get from Hart InterCivic has been certified by the EAC. It is only awaiting certification by the state. Last we heard, it is still on pace to be certified early 2026. We should have some more updates by the next board meeting. I believe the next big milestone is going to take place in February. We're still unsure on the dates, but hopefully by the next board meeting, or even in the middle of the month, we can provide you all with some sort of update as to where they're at in that process. All right, and the schedule for 2026, it still remains uncertain. We have two possible scenarios on display for you all here on the next couple of slides. Everything is dependent on the court case outcomes that are currently in the dockets here in Virginia. All right, so scenario one, this is our very busy scenario right here. We're looking at the January special that just took place a couple weeks ago. We have the March 10 special and the April special, which is for the constitutional amendments. I believe there are currently 3 constitutional amendments that are set to be in that election, with the big one being redistricting. If the constitutional amendment for redistricting does pass, then we're looking at redistricting on May, June timeframe. And during that same timeframe, we're looking at implementing our new equipment as well, seeing that, you know, everything goes well with the certification process. So a very busy start of the summer there. And from what we know is that if the redistricting does pass, the primary will be pushed, expected early August is what we're hearing. So August primary, and then finally finishing off the year with the midterm November general election. All right, scenario number 2 is basically the same, except that it doesn't list the April special election there. So again, this is all reliant on what happens with the appeal. If it doesn't, if it's not overturned, then we're looking at just a business as usual year, June primary. We will most likely implement the equipment in July, just based on there's no way that we'd be able to implement new equipment at the start of that primary cycle. And finishing off the year again with the midterm general election. All right. Any questions on outlook, equipment, before we move on to new business?
So I hope and assume that the approval process or the certification, there's not a big turnover on elect staff from one administration to the other, and I don't know how many other things are pending before them, but you know, obviously I don't know whether other jurisdictions are also hoping to use the new hard equipment, but it's you know, it's a big deal for us. So the earlier it gets done, the better it is for everybody, I guess.
Yes, and I mean, we would have loved to been going through that implementation process right now, so that way we could introduce this new equipment to our election officers and our voters in a primary election where turnout is typically less. So yes, 100% agree with you. I'm unaware of any other locality who's already signed on board to getting the new equipment, but I suspect there's probably other ones.
I think everyone is waiting.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, everybody's waiting on this. I don't think Hart is the only one that is caught in that delay, but yeah, hopefully soon. What we were told recently was that it's still looking like hopefully a first quarter approval here in 2026.
Yeah, we had a webinar with state just last week, and during webinar, one of the questions was, what's the certification process look like? And they still say that it is our priority, so we're trying to get that accomplished as soon as possible.
So do you have any information about the problems they were having with HART equipment in other jurisdictions?
No, it wasn't related to, the delays are not related to problems. It's, what we're being told is delays on just getting on the docket to be certified by the state. I believe there has to be testing that takes place in Richmond when these certifications happen.
Okay.
I know they've been eager to certify since the end of the summer. All right, that concludes the General Registrar's report.
Okay, any other questions, any other discussion? One question with regard to, there was a point made about, in the last special, which would have been what, January, people on election day were being sent to the wrong place? Was it here at the office? Or,
It's about Dumfries. when you-
Dumfries. So because Dumfries served as an early voting site,
I see,
people just show up and they think that's where they can vote.
right.
But on election day, they have to vote at their assigned precinct, so that's,
Did I hear you say that election officers were directing them to go? Was it to the office or?
no, they're directing them to go to their assigned election day precinct,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, because I thought, well, if they're not properly directing the voters, then maybe it's a training issue. I mean, anyway, but it sounds like that they were directing them to their regular election day precincts
Correct.
to vote. Okay,
Correct.
so not a problem.
Not a problem at all. It's something that we run into every election with specifically Dumfries, for Lazo, those two precincts, just because they're staffed.
Okay, and does Woodbridge, so is their early voting site, is it the DMV or no? Okay,
Yes.
so no voting at the DMV or yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so the DMV will be open the entire early voting
But on
period.
election day, you have to go to your own precinct?
Correct.
Okay, and so the people will there be anyone staffing the DMV on election day?
No, we usually put
So then you're gonna put a sign up?
we put signage.
Okay.
We put a signage on the door. We put a magnet sign on the door, and then we also put a yard sign just
Okay.
outside of that door.
Okay, good. Hopefully the snow will be melted by then,
Hopefully.
and people can get around. This has been a serious problem. Okay, anything else on the general registrar's report or any other discussion? So then we move into new business, and we have election officer appointments. So we have a list here in front of us.
Yep, so the list in front of you, Madam Chair, has 90 new election officers.
Okay,
48 of those election officers have requested to represent the Democratic Party. 17 of those have requested to represent the Republican Party, and 25 are nonpartisan. We received no feedback from the party chairs. And there are also 2 additional party affiliation requests that are at the back of your list that were pre-approved a couple months ago by the Republican chairman for those 2 individuals.
when you say you didn't hear back from them, does that mean there are no objections?
Correct. There are no objections.
Okay. Okay,
So the way the policy is written right now, Madam Chair, is that if we receive no email, that is taken as a no objection.
okay. All right, so,
Madam Chair, I would move the approval of all of these new officers, including the 2 that have been designated to be Republican officers.
Second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The list is agreed to.
So once again,
yeah, go ahead.
there's a significant number more Democrats. I don't know whether, this is sort of countywide or whether this list are mostly from the east end of the county, but, we're, again, I know that this is an ongoing challenge, making sure we have sufficient number of, Republican officers that, that can serve in all the precincts, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, that's how it's been for a while here.
So these officers are brand new.
Brand
And the
new.
ones that were appointed for a 2-year term,
Yes.
they don't have to be reappointed or they're good for 2 years. And so
Yes,
we're
they-
like 1 year into it, so they have 1 more year to
Correct. So these
serve.
individuals that you all approved, their appointment is good until the end of this calendar year. And
Okay,
then next year, we will go ahead and do the big reappointment for a 2-year cycle.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so none of these have had training? They're-
Correct.
Okay, so they're brand new.
Brand new.
Well, good for them. And I don't know, it is a problem of trying to get more Republicans to sign up, so
Maybe if you
I,
had a party at your farm, let them come out and, ride the horses and sign up to be.
bring a shovel. It's an inside joke. Okay then, so, well, good, we've got a good list. Did you see, what, 90-some? So, yeah, helpful and important, as you know, even this small special election requires 65. So it's an ongoing effort to recruit and train and bring on board these election officers. Without them, these elections could not be conducted. So very important role to play. Okay, any other comments or questions about these? Then we will entertain this list of general registrar and electoral board duties and responsibilities. So this was put together, well, several years now, but it gets reviewed every year, and I'm not quite sure what the yellow indicates, if it's a new or a change from previous practices or a new practice. So if you all have had a chance to review this, it's quite lengthy. There's a lot of responsibilities. We approved this on April 2nd of 2025. So we've had almost a year of functioning under this rubric. And so I'm entertain any discussion or questions, or I don't know that we're prepared to approve this, but we can certainly discuss it. So, Madam Vice Chair, do you have any comments or questions? Or like I said, it's quite a thorough document.
So
But
the highlighting in yellow, is that just to draw our attention to those?
So what Madam Chair said, it's completely correct. We started to work on this list in 2023, and Eric and our electoral board, Mark Dillon, they worked on it closely. They put lists together last year. And Heidi, we were just, John and I were talking about before the meeting. I think your first meeting started with this list, and it was overwhelming.
It was quite something.
Yolanda, you know what it is that Heidi was doing last year as well. But yes, there was a couple suggestions. So again, this is not something, some things on this list, they're determined by code. The code is very specific that this is a responsibility of electoral board. This is a responsibility of GR. Some of them, they kind of more vague, like it can go back and forth, it can be delegated. So you had a discussion last year, and you went back and forth on what was that you wanted to delegate, what you would like to have a shared responsibility. So the yellow are the ones that were a little bit modified last year. You signed it, I believe, in April, and that was the final. So at this point, if there's something else that you would like to modify, if you would like to add, things like that, yes, that is for you to discuss and decide how you would like to proceed with this.
so the the headings help to classify the various responsibilities, whether it's administrative, voter registration related, candidate related, polling places, the officers, the ballots, equipment, certification. So just like the task list of the 300 tasks that must be done before every election, this is it was an attempt, and I think a good one, to highlight and delineate whose responsibility for which tasks. And so some are shared, some, as Natalia's pointed out, some are general registrar only, and some are electoral board. Most of that is dictated by the code and election law. So, and that would be under the source category. As you're looking at the titles across the chart, the duty and task is listed first, and then the category of issues are next, and then the stage is when are these things done, and whose responsibility is it, and why is it so-and-so's responsibility, that is the general registrar or the electoral board. Well, then here's the code that dictates whose responsibility, and then the notes are just further clarification about how these responsibilities are going to be conducted. So it's a pretty comprehensive list, and if you have any questions, I think we're going to, certainly, we're not going to vote on it today, but we're going to take advantage of Natalia and John and their expertise to explain anything that doesn't seem to be clear or you want more information about.
I do have one
Okay.
question. So on page 11, number 701, it says the equipment security plan, and that's an electoral board responsibility only. What does that entail, and is there a policy?
There is a policy. We can send that your way, Madam Vice Chair. But that is something that the board has to review annually and approve. It's usually approved at the end of the
Enclosed.
summer, I believe, end of the summer, and it has to take place in closed session.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
We're going to start, if it helps, when we're preparing for the next meeting, when we get to the next meeting dates and everything else. That is one of the topics that we will start discussing at the next meeting as well.
It is an ongoing process that usually kicks off in February.
Yeah, about now, and it takes
Takes
several
place.
months
Yeah.
to complete, yes.
And with the new equipment, I imagine it may change some with the,
We'll have to look into that for sure, but since I don't think we've shared that policy with you, we'll have to send that to you via email, just so you're up to speed on what the current policy is.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so I am not going to necessarily entertain any motions on this. Like I said, I think this is still under review to give everyone a more thorough opportunity to review the various tasks and duties. So, anything else under new business? Are there any other issues that are not on the agenda that you would like to raise?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, so we are going to set our next meeting. Now, the fact that we've already had, well, what did we approve, 4 sets of minutes? So we've already had many, many meetings. And I suppose the next meeting, does it need to be in February? Okay, so since we're on the cusp of February, what do the members want to suggest for our next meeting? Or does staff have a recommendation for timing?
I don't have anything. We'll have to talk to the general registrar hopefully next week.
Yeah.
He said he was gonna come in some point next week, so if he has any suggestions, we'll gather that and share it with you all.
So looking at the month of February, there is one day that is a federal, well, a holiday, that's the 16th. So there's basically 4 weeks in February. And so with that holiday, then that's a 4-day work week. And again, I don't know, we have other tasks with regard to the special, I believe. When does early voting start? Did you say the 28th?
28th, and
Okay.
the week of the 16th, we will be doing LNA testing.
Oh, okay. So should we have it before or after that, or does it matter?
I think you can set a tentative date.
Okay.
And then pending what is the facility, we have to check the availability of
Okay.
the
And
room
so-
as well.
So this meeting will, this next meeting that we set will be presumably at 10 a.m. And so I know for me, Tuesdays and Thursdays are not good days. Are there any other not good days for you, Madam Vice Chair or
It
Mr.
depends on the day.
Secretary?
I have to look at my other calendar.
Okay.
So you just pick the day and I can take a look.
So we could, for example, could suggest the 11th, February 11th. That's a Wednesday. I hesitate to say Friday the 13th. Not that I'm superstitious, but we could do Monday the 9th, I think, or no?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of new business that we're
We'll have-
almost in February
Yeah.
now, yeah.
So,
What about, yeah, do you have a feeling whether before or after early voting starts is better? I mean,
I would suggest maybe something the week of the 16th, or even the week of,
Well, we have LNA 16th, remember, like this week.
maybe.
25th?
Maybe on the 25th.
Okay.
Only reason I say that is because we do have that first part of the equipment security policy that kicks off, the LES survey, which stands for, I believe, Locality Election Security Standards.
Yep.
That's when we kick that off, and we should have that ready for you all to review in closed session around that timeframe.
The 25th works for me. How about you? It's a Wednesday.
Works for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
shall we say?
sure.
Wednesday, February 25 at 10 a.m., the next meeting of the Electoral Board, to go over election preparation update, the LES survey, and special recognitions, which is always fun.
Yes.
And
We
maybe
did
we'll-
have one planned today, but with the snow, we had to
Yeah.
move it.
Do you think the snow will be melted by then? I don't
And
know.
it was 6 degrees this morning, I'm not
I
sure.
know, nothing's melting,
Yeah.
nothing's melting. This is so
Nothing.
unusual.
It's like
So, yeah.
permanent ice.
And
Yes,
we expect to see baby pictures on the.
Yes.
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, now we have time for public comments, if there are any. Don't know that there are. No one else ventured out.
No one signed up.
Very good, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
And the meeting is adjourned.
all right.
We did it without.
Short and
without
sweet.
error, Yes.